I just spent the last 8 hours digging out over 100,000 blocks to make this giant hole in the ground in the middle of my base. And you're probably asking yourself, Eco, why would you do this? Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. I need more storage. And I've made tons of storage rooms in the past, each time learning a little bit more about what makes a good storage room. And now it's time to put all that knowledge into one epic build. I also have some really cool channel news, so don't forget to watch until the end. All right, everybody, welcome back to a new episode. Today, I have once again dug a giant hole, only this time, this hole is kind of stuck between a bunch of my other holes. Underneath, we have the villager trading hall, and to the right here, we have like the new base hub section that we made a few weeks ago. And now, brand new hole, big one, probably the biggest one of them all. Like I said in the intro, it's about 100,000 blocks big. Not this circle though. I made a big square, all right? And then I made a circle out of the square, which was kind of stupid. So anyway, let's get started here with a quick little time lapse. I'm gonna build probably the coolest statue I have ever made in my life. And while we do this time lapse, I thought it was a good time to unfortunately announce to all of you that I have regrettably broken one of the oldest pickaxes in this world, my smiley face, silk touch, netherite pickaxe. I was mining, I was watching Dune, and I wasn't paying attention, and it broke right in my hands. And I honestly took a minute, and I just like let go of the keyboard, and I was like, oh no. I'm not like super attached to internet items, but that one kind of hurt. But on the bright side, we do have a completed statue here, which is actually giving me a great deal of inspiration for the rest of this room. Believe it or not, I haven't really thought of anything else yet. But rest assured, as always, I have crafted an immensely detailed master plan to create this build in the most efficient, logical, and great way possible. I'll put that on the screen right now. You can take a look, as well as some of the reference images that I'll be using. Jokes aside, though, you as the viewer probably have a pretty good idea of how this turned out, because I probably used it for the thumbnail, and you can just scrub ahead in the video and see how everything goes. So I always think it's kind of weird to say like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, because when the video's done, you can kind of get the impression that I know what I'm doing. But believe me, like I just had a flash of what I wanted to build, and I'm making it now. But one thing that I know for sure is I want a big old glass dome over the top of this, and that's probably one of the first things that we should be doing to keep the mobs out and keep the phantoms out of here. And I'm gonna need a metric buttload of glass to be doing that. So how about me, a successful, handsome, smart, talented, humble YouTuber, show you, the viewer, how I go about collecting copious amounts of glass without even breaking a sweat. That's right, I'm a big old cheater. For some reason, it once again broke. So that's what I get for cheating. If I show you here, I did have like a nice little setup here where I would break it and collect it, and I was actually getting a pretty decent amount here from all this stuff over the past few weeks. And I had like back here, anyway, it's broken now. It doesn't work anymore. I don't know if it's because I updated to 1.24 or what, but that basically means I'm gonna have to go get my sand myself this time. And on my quest for sand here, I kind of remembered building this and having like a bunch of sand, or at least a beige block, and then lo and behold, 3 shulkers. I open them up, it's all sandstone. Literally every chest that I find in this world is just sandstone. There is no freaking sand. I'm really mad because I didn't think this would take me this long to get. I got a bunch of sand and oops, wrong skin. I got a lot of sand now. I got about 4 shulkers, and I've been able to convert just about 2 of them at this point. And what's really nice about digging a big hole like this is you get a lot of coal, and with that coal, I can make my glass. That was almost a triple rhyme there for you. Let me just take a little sleep here, and I'll show you the progress that I have made. I'm actually pretty excited. I didn't record any of it because it's kind of like boring stuff, so I'll try to save the interesting stuff for the video. basically what I did is I built these arches, I put up a wall, and now I'm building the second story. But again, we're really still on like the basic just like sketch of the area, right? And I've also started working on the outside parts here. Now, I did put my graphic design background to use here, creating some more inspiring images and blueprints for this project. I'll put them up on the screen right now. No, but in all seriousness, I've been really scratching my head while I build this, but it's like probably the most inspired I've been in a long time. So much so that I'm forgetting to record. But I promise I'll do better now, and you can actually see the progress, hopefully, from here on out. And hopefully now we're going to be doing some of the more fun stuff, like gathering 5 shulkers of wood and whatever to make chest walls and whatnot, because we're going to need a buttload of chests. I kind of forgot this was going to be a storage room, to be honest with you. Anyways, I think we have enough glass now to get started on this project, and I can start making the glass roof. So what better time, I ask you, dear viewer, for a time lapse? Well, I just spent a half hour making a glass dome, which you can't even see in the time lapse. So let's speed that up and get on with the episode. Well, if I'm honest, I'm not sure this texture is any better. I wanted to just try changing out my glass just to see maybe, just maybe, I could get one that I liked more. And I ended up redoing the entire thing, only this time with the green glass. And I've also done a whole big bunch more, which I'm going to do in a little time lapse here while I tell you a little story. So a few years ago, my friend told me about this lake in our national park near us. And this lake is not really a lake, actually. It's more like a swamp pond. And there's no trails to it. It's super off the beaten path, which is amazing because there's so much wildlife. Walking through these woods, you can see all the deer tracks. You see a lot of deer, rabbits, and coyotes. So keep that in mind. We're sleeping. It's the middle of winter, probably about -25, and it's windy, it's gross, and I brought a hammock. And in this hammock, I insulated myself with blankets and a tarp, and I was nice and cozy and just nestled up in there trying to sleep, when I start to hear sniffing, like big sniffing sounds, and I'm like, oh cool, there's like a deer or something near me. And then I hear more sniffing, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. And then I'm starting to freak out. And then I feel something nudging my back in the hammock, and that's when I kind of realized, like, I am literally a piñata right now for whatever this animal is. And I also realized that I had a granola bar in my pocket. And that's when I was like, oh no. So I stayed perfectly still. I didn't move for like 10 minutes while it was kind of rocking me back and forth in my hammock in the middle of the night, in the middle of the winter. There's no going home. And then it walks away and it leaves me alone. But by this point, I'm freaking out, so I get out of the hammock and I go sleep in the tent with my friend because I'm like, there's no way I'm spending the night in the hammock. I was so freaked out, but I didn't know what it was. And the next morning, our other friend in the other tent comes to wake me up, and I'm not in my hammock. And then he finds me in the tent and he comes and he tells me, dude, there's coyote tracks all over your hammock. What the heck happened last night? And that's when we kind of pieced it together that a coyote was sniffing my butt. Well, as you can see, I sure have been building more than I have been recording lately, and now it is time to show you guys what I've been up to. I'm getting so excited. The end is in sight. Kind of, not really, but it's starting to look really cool. How about I take a little second here and I show you guys around. Now, keep in mind, I've been building for days since that last clip, and this project really probably is the biggest one I think I've ever worked on for a single video, which is kind of crazy because when I'm looking at my recording time right now, this video is about 10 minutes long, which does not reflect the amount of time I've really cut out all the crap, all the fluff, all the yappage, just to show you the cool build. So if you guys like it, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so people like you who like this kind of content get to see it too. YouTube is a rough, desolate place. Anyways, let's start here with the center pond, which is nearing completion at this point. I just need to go get some more sea pickles and some more grass type blocks. But basically, I've filled it with water. I've put some algae on the bottom, some rocks. This one kind of looks like a dude who's splatted, and some coarse dirt. This is pretty par for the course for an eco build in this base, though. I do this stuff pretty often, this kind of thing. You might also recognize it from the Guardian farm, as well as the Cliffside Village, which I built several months ago. I've also added the reeds, and I've got plenty of plans for these green candles, so be sure to stick around for those. I've also built some trees. This is going to be the kind of greenery style that we're going to go for in this video. I've textured a little bit of the statue, but I'll show more of that later on in the video here. And I've started to create some pretty massive storage areas, because up until this moment, I'm sure you did too, I kind of forgot this was gonna be a storage room. Now, originally, these looked like this, but I feverishly dug out a lot more because I figured that wasn't mega enough, and it wasn't reflecting the other parts of the base, which I've yet to show you, which I will very soon. So basically, I've devised these big rooms. I really like the big arches, and the chests are numerous. I think in total, this is probably, each of these is over a stack of chests. So you can do the math. It's about a stack and like 16 or something like that. I'll do a total count at the end of the video if you're curious to know how many items this holds and how many chests are in this build. But anyways, it's getting pretty big. And in the center here, I have a little table. Not too sure how this will pan out. That's kind of just like a work in progress type of scenario. I'm still working on this connection, by the way. I'm not too sure how this is gonna line up just yet, but we're getting there. Now, up here, we have a really awesome view of the statue and the greenery, which I've kind of been trying to incorporate as we go. I finished the ceiling, or the roof, I guess, depends how you look at it. And you can see there's a portal up here. I'm thinking that portal is going to go down there, ultimately, and we're going to save this for more storage because we're kind of limited in space in that direction. If I fly through the wall here, you can see we got stuff there. We got our villager killing setup going into the tank here. But up here, we're kind of free if we can live with a beacon, which is off-center. So, but anyway, I could move that beacon. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, that's the plan. And it has been executed here. So the plan was to create 3 more storage rooms. We got one here with the barrel back there and the same table and everything. We got, hey, this light beam. Whoa, that's quite green. And we got this one over here with the big barrel and the storage on the back there with the pots. And of course, one more over here, which I don't think I actually did finish. However, these ones up here, what's really neat is I included a skylight. So there's kind of like beams of light here at certain times of the day. Now, unfortunately, there is that Death Star up there, which is the creeper farm. That thing, I might just tear that down and move it away, because it kind of doesn't fit the area anymore, in my opinion. I built that like 2 years ago, a year ago, a long time ago anyway. And I really like it, but it's in the way now. It doesn't really fit this area, especially when I fly out here. Like, this thing's cool. It's in the jungle. I'm going to put more jungle trees, and the track is here and all this stuff. And then big old sphere casting a shadow. So anyways, might have to move that, unfortunately. But this build, which is the focus of this video, is doing very, 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 very well. I have one more to complete here, one more storage area that is, and I've moved the portal. Now I'm just decorating the walls a little bit, getting them nice and done so that we can call this bottom layer done. And so that way we can move on with our lives. we are so close to calling this entire place done. As you can see from the time lapse and probably what's behind me here, I have gone ahead and I've added a mix of birch and azalea leaves with some moss and some candles and green glass and a whole bunch of different little blocks like that to create these kind of like textured bushes. And I really like how they turned out, actually. It's the first time that I'm using those. And of course, you can see I've blocked off some of these doors from the time lapse. That's because, okay, hear me out. This place is so great and so big and so awesome that I think it's going to be more than a storage room. It's kind of going to usurp this room a little bit. This one's really neat. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool little room, but isn't this one so much better? Let me know what you think in the comments with the purple streams of light and the green light and everything. This place has a really magic quality to it, and it might be one of my favorite builds of all time in this world. And actually, a little screenshot here. Screenshot. And I've also, I've added all the leaves up here. I kind of lit it up. I still have to finish this, but we don't talk about that. I don't want to do it right now. Just to give you guys an idea, like building this whole thing with a full-time job and a whole bunch of other life commitments, this took me about a month, just about a month to finish up. So if you'll like the video, please be sure to let me know in the comments and like it, show your friends and all that. I don't like asking, but for a video like this, it's kind of important. Oh, that's really cool. Because this was a really big undertaking for me. Now, if we fly outside, you can also see I've completed the outside preliminarily. I don't know if that's a word in English, but I've just kind of done the shell. We're going to spam some trees around, but this is all stuff that I kind of like to do off camera at my own pace and not feel rushed or pressured to complete. So as you can see, there's a lot of storage here. I've done the math. It's about like 5 or 6 million blocks capacity, just the chests, not counting the other stuff. And that's kind of insane. That is absolutely insane. All right, on to actual business talk here, ladies and gentlemen. We got some business to discuss. Which way am I going? Oh, this way. Yes, okay. So at the beginning of the video, I did say I had a pretty big and exciting announcement for the channel. So if you stuck around till the end, you're here now. I'm going to try to keep your attention and not yap too long. But basically, I'm going to be making the world download available to you every single upload. So every time I upload a video, it's going to be up. And I've been getting a lot of people asking me if they can support the channel in some way or the server that I host. And it's going to be really easy. The world download is going to be available behind the YouTube members every single upload, every video. So if you want to play on this, you can, and it helps me make more videos and support me a little bit. But obviously, the world download is still going to be free, like once a year around Christmas, like I've been doing for the last few years. It's just this way, everybody who wants to check this out, you can, and it kind of helps me make more videos. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This was a huge project for me. I will be wrapping up this upstairs. Don't you worry. That'll come in another video. So until next time, thank you for watching, and a big wet kiss from me. Mwah.